Welcome to Thoughts on the Market. I'm Michael Zezas, Head of Public Policy Research and Municipal Strategy for Morgan Stanley. Along with my colleagues bringing you a variety of perspectives, I'll be talking about the intersection between U.S. public policy and financial markets. It's Thursday, September 9th at 10:30 a.m. in New York. It's a season of confusion in Washington, D.C., as negotiations on fiscal policy hit a fever pitch. Media reports suggest Democrats are still far apart, potentially trillions of dollars apart, in fact, on planned spending levels. Adding to the confusion is the lack of context in the information we publicly receive. With negotiations going on privately, all we learn is through the hints and innuendo of press leaks. So when a key Democratic senator says they oppose a certain level of spending, are they talking about gross spending? Or are they talking about net spending or deficit expansion? Unfortunately, until there's a resolution to these negotiations, successful or not, we'd prepare to be confused for some time. But that doesn't mean there aren't a few signals inside the noise. Here's 3 points we feel comfortable hanging our hats on. First, on taxes, it already appears the worst outcomes for companies will be avoided. It's long been our base case that the White House would be unlikely to get the request to raise the corporate tax rate to 28%. Rather, a hike to 25% seemed more likely given the stated preference of key Senate moderates and the political benefits of using deficits to bridge the gap between new tax revenues and new spending. Media outlets are now reporting this 25% rate appears to be the target in fiscal policy negotiations. In our view, that takes what could have been a nearly 10% hit to S&P 500 net income and makes it considerably smaller and more manageable, about a 4 to 6% hit. Second, when it comes to the size of the fiscal package, expect this to play out as an all-or-none dynamic. Now, it's certainly possible that fiscal changes end up being modest, but regardless of the final outcome, investors should expect a negotiation that will appear to have much higher stakes. Every headline where a moderate Democrat says they can't support a big spending bill will likely be met with a headline where a progressive says they can only support a big spending bill. Hence, markets may come to see the choice as one between a big fiscal impact to the economy being approved this year or none at all. Which brings us to our third and final point. This is a confusing and difficult dynamic for markets to price, so don't expect them to do so ahead of concrete outcomes. This is pretty normal behavior for markets around relevant geopolitical events. But that means there could be some fresh volatility in spots, and positioning investors should then consider today. For example, the Treasury market, which is sensitive to changes in the fiscal outlook. As our rate strategy team has flagged, expectations are quite low that any fiscal deal could get done, regardless of size. So if we did get a deal, especially a big one, you could see yields push higher, closing the gap between current levels and the 1.8% target on the 10-year Treasury that our team expects by year end. Thanks for listening. If you enjoy the show, please share Thoughts on the Market with a friend or colleague, or leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. It helps more people find the show.
The preceding content is informational only and based on information available when created. It is not an offer or a solicitation, nor is it tax or legal advice. It does not consider your financial circumstances and objectives and may not be suitable for you.